All right, we are live. I just wanted to let everyone know that today is a Ask Me Anything or AMA office hours Teams session. So anyone who does have any questions who would like to post it here in the Q&A panel that we have for today's live event, by all means, go for it. And for any questions that we may have that a demonstration on our attendance would be of a better explanation, that we will also do that as well. But this will be more of a, if you will, a laid back session. We can also, what's it called? We also have an FAQ here that we can start with as well. For a full training session, if you're curious as to it being on the fundamentals or our Teams 100, that will most likely, Blair, do you know if that's on Tuesday or Monday for next week? Because I don't have that schedule that we've posted previously.
Yeah, let me pull it up here, John. Hold on, let me find it. So next week, Teams Fundamentals will be on Monday and Tuesday of next week. So Monday from 10 to 11:30, and on Tuesday from 1 to 2:30. And then we have an intermediate session on Wednesday from 1 to 2:30, and we have a session on live events on Thursday from 10 to 11:30, and then on Friday, as is today, is an Ask Me Anything on Teams from 10 to 11:30.
Shander, Blair, also, if you have the link for the Point Drive link, by all means, if you could if we could post that.
Sure thing. Drop it in as an announcement.
Thank you. Let me.
All right, there we go. I have posted the link in the Q&A for the recorded trainings.
Thank you, Shane. Just clean up this. Also, Blair, when you get a moment, could you also send me that schedule, please?
Yes.
Hey, John, so I got a question about how do you schedule meetings where everybody can attend if you don't have access to their calendars? Do you think you'd be able to show what Scheduling Assistant looks like?
Yeah, let me go ahead and log into Rosanna. Give me one moment. I also have to make my mouse a little bit bigger. There we go. So let me make sure I'm sharing. Perfect. Okay. So when it comes to scheduling assistant, let's go over to calendar and let's just go to a meeting that we've created here. When I go over to the top here, I'm going to say scheduling assistant. When I select that, it's going to give us a nice overhead or a nice little prompt of a schedule of everyone that you've invited, so we can invite other people as well. Go ahead and invite Johnny. Let's invite the administrator. Also invite Johnny. So then we could see that some are available on certain times, others aren't. Some are tentative as well. As you can see, Marvin is at 10 a.m. to 11. So this gives us a better way for us to accurately schedule meetings. So then let's say I'll just schedule it for 12 to 1. Send that update. Perfect. You can also check here for others. But what's nice, this falls back onto how you're able to do the same thing on different ways. How if I went over to details and I wanted to add my required attendees and optional attendees, or I can just go to the scheduling assistant and have a better overview of everyone's schedule and still add people from this column as well. Let me also go briefly, or let me go, where is it? Where is it? Planner. Planner's right here. So Planner's one of the first party applications that you're able to pin here in the left-hand side. Pinning is by right-clicking on any app and then selecting that pin option. And then from here, it'll give us a way to access Planner. This is a better way for you to organize tasks and delegate tasks to other users, because what's nice about Planner is you get to not only assign users to certain tasks, but as well as due dates. And then let me go ahead and go to, you're able to set certain plans in certain channels. So right now I'm in the status updates plan that's located in the general channel in the Northern Earthquake exercise. So I have this channel pinned here on the top. I got my pin column here. But here is where I'm able to add tasks on my to-do bucket. These are called buckets here. You have your to-do, you have your in progress, and then you have completed. But then you're also able to add more. Let me just try and move this to the bottom. You're able to add new buckets as well. And I could name this one. Let's name this one. Get a PC clean up. There we go. We could do like dust every PC. We could do tidy up. And then format drives, for instance. And let's say this is just we can throw tasks. Now that we've had these tasks here, yes, you could add the due dates and add the users one by one as you write them down in this way, because when you click on any task, it brings up a better way for you to add even more items to each one, because you can even set certain labels on them. You could also set priority. You just get a lot more options for each task that you want to set up. And then you can also set any start times and due dates. So for instance, we're going to want to make sure these tasks that I created, they're all completed throughout next week. So that format drives, let's make that for 8th. We'll have that start on Monday next week. That's an important. If we wanted to attach any files, we could do that. But then let's assign this. And then notice how we have users populating. That's what I love so much about Office 365, or just all of these little features where when you have your organization plugged in, users just pop up automatically. So we'll set these to 2 people to complete. We'll set this to Marvin and Emily. So then they're also going to get notifications that they've had tasks assigned to them also. And if we wanted to create a checklist within those tasks, we could do that also and create or put any notes down as well. But we'll set it to just that. So then we could set this to Arthur and Christy. This will have to be done by then. We'll still also set this for that. And then let's assign this to Deborah and Dylan. And this will also start this upcoming. There we are. So then after we've assigned these to people and we've assigned these to on certain dates, let's set some to completed, and then let's set some to in progress. Let's set that one to not, because after we've had some time, after we let some time pass by, after we see if some completed and some haven't, what we could do is we could check here in charts. We can get some a good amount of data, some good analytics here to check out what's been completed and what hasn't, as well as an overview of the users that have these tasks assigned as well.
Hey John, so as if I am assigned a task, can I see tasks that are assigned to other folks and when they've completed them, or is it just reserved to the one who created the planner?
No, this should be open to everyone. This is open to everyone.
Okay.
Yeah. Anytime you open Planner, anytime you are assigned to one, unless there are permissions set to it, you should be able to see everything. Let me double check. Are you still able to see my screen? Do you see something else?
Yes, see your screen.
Or do you still see the, oh no, you see, okay, perfect. Where is it? No, because I don't think I'm the owner of this channel. It will let me. Yeah, because I'm not an owner of this channel. I'm still able to see everyone's, because this was posted in the general. But I could still make a new plan if I wanted to. And then here, only members that I add can see plan content, or if I made it public, where anyone in my organization can see planned content. So we'll just do it we'll name it public. And let's do, and then there's a group description. But like I've said before, we'll use this previous one just to show what it looks like to create one. It still gives you your default bucket of a to-do list where you can still add tasks like hire catering, hire kitchen staff, hire IT, book hotel, or room. Like we can just go on and on for a to-do list here, or we could set these into like certain buckets if we would like to, just to have these organized, have them organized like much better. But yeah, there we go. We can drag these over and just go on from there. But we'll go back to status update just so we can get, we can see what it looks like with content, where I have all of the tasks that have been created. I have all of my buckets, as well as my tasks from priority levels. But then when I go to schedule, I could also see by the week what tasks are due. So this is a great tool to utilize if you have some project management tasks as well that you want to, if you want to stay within the Microsoft Teams window or the application. This is a great task to use if you want to delegate tasks in that manner.
Hey John, good question from the gallery. So it said, when you said public or private, does that mean everyone in the organization can see it, or everyone that's part of that team can see the planner?
Everyone in your organization.
Okay.
Yeah. So because Planner is already available to you by default, depending on what your Office license is, and correct me if I'm wrong, Shane. But let's say, for instance, if we make one that's only, if we Planner test for privacy, and then we create, it's not going to give me that that auto population of users, I don't believe. Yeah, because I haven't invited anyone. So this is not going to show up for anyone at all. but this is because it's been posted in a channel as well. But if I go to Planner Hub and I go to all plans, these are other plans or other planners, planner plans, because that's just unfortunately what the name is. These are also ones that were set to, I believe these were set to
Public.
open. Yeah, public. Sorry. Oh no, these are private members. So regardless, so notice even if I was invited to one, all plans, this is private. What about this one? There's some private as well. Yeah, these are all. So depending, honestly, if they're public or private, if you're invited to one, you'll see it regardless. If you're what's it called? If somebody creates one in your organization, you'll just see it there. Because notice how I only had like 2 or 3 pop up because they were just the ones that I finally opened up. But these have been created for a while now. But I just finally clicked on one and opened up to see what was there. It popped up in my recent plans, and now I just got a list here. And now from here that I have just recent plans from, all of these plans that I've been invited to and have had tasks assigned to me, I could then I could favorite them and then just have them organized by just clicking on the star next to the name when I select the plan. And then I could then hide the recent and then have my plans that I'm a part of a lot. See this? It can just be a part of one. And organization, yeah, we would be talking agency. That's how their structure's set up, correct, Blair?
Yeah, I'm not able to articulate it. It might be a governance thing. It might be how they set up the policies for it. I think in the view that we're viewing right now, it certainly suggests that that's the case. But as a recommendation, docs.microsoft.com has a lot of information out there. I'm not able to articulate anything different than what's being viewed in this demo tenant right now. So you can check some stuff out there, and I'll do some research as well.
Got it. And then for the user who asked how to get to Planner, this column right here, I like to call this a tab menu, because this is just where all your applications that are available to be pinned as a tab here. That's where you would find Planner. This app is supported to be pinned here. So when I select here, this is going to be, by default, it's going to take you to where all to your tasks that are assigned to you. So this is where, if you use Planner a lot, if you are a part of a lot of plans, it's great to have this as a pinned app. As soon as you select this is where you'll be able to also check out any recent plans or all of the plans that have been created for all of the teams that you are a part of.
Can you demonstrate, someone who had to go out and come back in, can you demonstrate how to get to a planner as part of a team?
Just select any of these. So because these are already in channels up, see, channel name and then tab name. So this is where the plan is located, and then this is what the person has set the tab name to. So if we look at the, status updates, it's going to take us to the general channel in the Northern Earthquake exercise team, and it's going to take us to that tab called status updates, which is the plan that somebody created here.
So it would be, if you wanted to add a planner to a team, you would click the plus button on your menu bar, at the top right, and then you could add planner that way, correct? Do you have a question, John, that says, please explain the difference between OneDrive and OneDrive DOI? And I tried to inquire what DOI meant, and I don't know. I don't know if that's Department of Interior or what, but maybe can you just demonstrate some OneDrive usage within Teams?
I'm not sure what the differences of what those are as well, but for usage in Teams, when we go to Files and we select OneDrive, we could then see a bit of our content onto, like as you see, Microsoft Teams data, Teams chat files, any files that have been shared for any Teams chats that you are a part of, or then any notebooks that you have created would populate here. But this is because I don't really have a lot in my OneDrive account for this demo account. But if you do have, if you use Microsoft Teams a lot in your work account, of course, it could look a lot different than as to what you see here. But if you have any other cloud storage that is supported in your org, you're able to add it to this option as well. But speaking of the Files tab here, not only are you able to access your cloud storage accounts of OneDrive, but you're able to also access any of the files that have been shared within any team that you're a part of. So anyone who has shared a file in a team, that will show up here. So if you want a bit more of a compact listing of all of the files, you could select this option to view that, or view any of the recent files that you've been working on. But when it comes to usage for OneDrive, it's very similar to as if you had it open in your browser. It gives you a bit of the same options as if you were open in OneDrive, except for instance, if I right-click, it's not going to give me like permissions options or any of that, those specifics within here. This is more of just file management, file structure. Like if you want to edit that structure that you've had here, you could create new files or new folders, I'm sorry, but as well as new files like any of the Office 365 documents, you're able to do so. But you're also able to upload any folders or files as well from your local computer.
Hey, John, one of the questions we got was if we could just go over what a channel is within a team. So if you don't mind just going over like the difference between a team and a channel.
Yeah. A channel is the contents to where you will have your communication and your collaboration occurring. The team is just the name of where that channel is stored in. So if we go to Teams right here, it's just, let's just hide all of the channel names. Right now, I'm just viewing the name of the team. I'm just looking at the name of my big workspace that I have lots of users a part of. But when I click on them, this is where I'm able to see where all of that communication and collaboration is occurring. I have these channels created because I have purposes for them. I have this channel created because all of my users, all of my employees that are a part of my healthcare department now have a dedicated area to have their conversations and to have all of their collaboration occurring. This is where they're able to create all of their tabs here that is helpful to them, that they are utilizing for quicker access. They have all of their tabs here created for quick access. This is created to how they want to use it. Whoever the owner is of these channels, they can make it as to however they want, and they can set permissions to users however they would like to, or however they please. Remember that Teams is just the name of where all of these channels are housed in. Just remember that. But channels are very, very multi-purpose. Understand that the difference also with a group chat in a channel is also the scale because the amount of people that you're able to put in a group chat is very is less compared to a channel per se. I think a group chat is like about 100 users, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. I believe it's 100 users for a group chat. Meanwhile, when it comes to a team, I believe it's about, I do not want to lie, let me, what was it? Teams limitations. Number of teams, number of members in a team is 5,000. And then number of channels per team, we got about 200 channels per team. So we have just when it comes to the scale as to, or let me just I want this to be, oh, I can't change it from here. Oh, oops, I'm not. So it really comes down to also what you would like certain people to see, like the contents that you're sharing. If you would rather have a less amount of people be able to see what you would like to share, create a group chat, invite a couple of users into your group chat and then do your collaboration from there. If you don't mind letting everyone in your organization see whatever it is that you want to share, then share it in the channel. It really comes down to also a level of privacy where, like, let's say if we let's go to general and let's go to files. All of this content here is available to, and let me go to manage channel. Oh, it's not going to show me. 17 users, not a lot of people right now. Let's say if we go to this team, we have 12 users that are able to see the contents that you're sharing, just to showcase, yeah, we have 4 people here. Yeah, and 12 people here.
There's a question of what is a private channel?
It's a public channel, except you have to invite users rather than users already being a part of it by default. Because when you create channels in a team, so let's say this team here, let's say there's already about 300 users circulating through this team. If I create a channel, people are already going to be able to see, those 300 people could already see, any new channels created, they'll be added to it. So if you did want to create a private channel, no one's going to be added to it by default. You have to add people manually from there.
Can you add groups of users?
To my knowledge, you cannot, unfortunately. You can create a private channel off of an existing Office 365 group, but not, say people are already a part of like the analytics group or team. So if we were to add a channel, level 2 privacy. Oops, sorry, I meant when it comes to an existing Office 365 group, that was for a team, not a channel. And then here, yeah, you have to add people by default, or manually, sorry. Is admin a part of it? Yeah. Then it's just going to show a lock symbol.
Can you host team meetings with participants outside of your agency?
If you're, oh, did you want to answer it? Sorry, they don't.
I'm going to FAQs at this point.
Okay.
Sorry,
What
was the
was
question host Teams meetings or have like chats and stuff?
Have Teams meetings with participants outside of the agency.
So if you create a Teams meeting using Outlook, so go into Outlook and click on the Create Teams Meeting button. In the To field, you will be able to put email addresses of people outside of your organization. Now, whether or not they can join is actually up to your organization's tenant. By default, usually they will be able to join, but some agencies have stricter tenants than others, and they may prevent that kind of thing from happening. But if you wanted to invite people outside of your organization, that's how you would do it.
Are there any disadvantages of making your channel private? I would just say, like, my personal perspective is if you create a private channel, I don't think that you can make it public. You can't go reverse to that. So you want to make sure that there's a reason for you to make it a private channel. What else would you guys say?
I'm sorry, one more time. I didn't hear that.
The question was, what are the disadvantages of a private channel? And I just said that once you create a private channel, you can't make it public after you've done that. So you want to make sure that there's a good reason to make it a private channel.
Gotcha. Let me. There was.
Can you teach us how to share a folder in OneDrive with someone?
Sharing a folder, copy link.
So like if you go to the little paperclip within a chat or within a team, one of the options is OneDrive. Oh, yeah, you have to do it on an older, yeah. And so if you go into OneDrive there, you have the option of sharing specific files or folders. Keep in mind if you do it from within a team, though, it will upload a copy of the file because team files in a team have to be stored in SharePoint. So if you try to upload something from OneDrive into a team, it will upload a copy of that file to SharePoint. However, if you upload it within a chat, either one-on-one or group chat, it will stay in your OneDrive and just give everybody in that chat access to view or edit the file.
Are files uploaded to a team found in the Files tab of the team or the SharePoint tab of the team?
You said shared in the SharePoint what?
Sorry. Actually, let's follow up. There's one follow-up question to what we were just
right
talking
there.
about.
Sorry.
Can you teach us how to share a folder in OneDrive with someone? Can you say that again? So if we could just, yeah, sorry.
You are absolutely fine. No worries. If I go to, say, any team that I would like to share a document, I can do it here. I could do it in a group chat, wherever it is I want to share that document. I would select the paperclip here. And then if I want to share it from my local computer or from my OneDrive account, select the designated destination. And then from there, I could share ahead my desired document. But then the other question was, Shane answered that one.
Yep. Are files uploaded to a team found in the Files tab of the team or the SharePoint tab of the team?
I just want to make sure the reply that I give matches Shane. Yes. Files within a team are automatically uploaded to SharePoint. So a nice thing about it is when, let me go ahead and publish that. I'm going to copy and paste that. A nice thing about the Files tab in Teams is that it's built on top of SharePoint. So any sort of editing that's done on, I'll show you guys that in just a moment. So if I go to a channel here, if I go to the general channel and I go to the top right-hand corner, select the ellipsis here and select open in SharePoint, what it's going to do is that it's going to take me to this group in SharePoint where I could look at all of the documents that have been shared here. And not only that, but if I click on conversation, I could then look at the posts that have been, or threads, you can call them threads as well, that have been posted in the general channel as well. So going back to here, we go to files. Notice how we're looking at the same thing as if we were here. If I say, for instance, no, I didn't mean to do imagers. I meant do that. What I also wanted to do was that. And then what I can do, for instance, tsunami, let's move that over here. Oh, well, let me do that. Let's say if we wanted to move that to my current library. No, not there. Where is it? It's not gonna let me change it from here. Oops. Files. I have my images there, but it won't let me drag it. I think it only lets me drag it from the desktop version. Yeah. It doesn't let me. Thought it would. Is there something I'm doing wrong, Shane? Or Blair? There's gotta be. Hmm. Yeah, there we go. That's what it was. It was looking at the channels.
John, are you able to just open OneDrive and share a file, show how to share a file with someone?
Like within the document?
Yes, yes. I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
sharing a file within OneDrive. Yeah.
Sure thing. So let's go to this document that I have here. And then am I able to share it within here? No, I have to do it. I might have to do it within the browser. Yeah, there we go. Share. And then if I wanted to say share with this user, I could then select specific people, like if I wanted to share with people within my organization, specific people, or people with existing access. I could allow editing as well as set an expiration date or password. If I didn't allow editing, I could even block the downloading of the document if I wanted to.
Someone mentioned that you have a cute dog.
Thank you. He's the sweetest boy. So let's not allow editing. Let's block. Apply. Let's copy it as a link. I could add another user or even add a message. And then from there, I could send it and that person will receive that email of it saying that I shared something. And then from there, it would be able to edit.
How does Teams handle out of office statuses?
I didn't realize I was on mute. Let's see. There is a dual mode. It says using Skype and in Teams. Teams will not recognize out of office settings that is enabled from Outlook. But you could set your statuses manually. So if you're, however, like for instance, if you're out of the office or if you're about to leave, you can set it to appear away. Do not disturb. Be right back. That you're busy. However, if you do, let me see if it'll. Now I have to sign in. If you say create an event in Outlook, and you set your status, let me just do it here just to better explain myself. Give me one sec. Perfect. I go to calendar. Let's see if it'll show here. If I create an event and more options, if I set my out of office here, but like through the desktop version, I think it'll show out of office or away, this option here that gives you the crisscross. If you set your status to that and you do it like, say, when you're out of the office at 5:30 p.m., like most people, 6 p.m., or whatever time it is that you're out of the office, if you set it to that and to go on until the time that you go back into the office the following day, what will happen is the icon here will display as like, it'll give you a green but black option, like an available but like with a black undertone. Like it's a cool looking icon, but that's like your, in quotes, out of office. That's how it kind of looks. It may look different, but that's how it looks when I set it to out of office using by just creating an event like that or like away. Let's save that. And I just label it out of office. And then when I do that, that's how it recognizes it in Teams out of office. It's just purple. And then I just showcase to how it just thinks. Set it to like that if I wanted to. And if I click on that, boom.
What does status look like when their Teams desktop application is not open?
I'm not sure. What does it show? Does it show
Offline.
offline?
Yeah, there's an offline status. You can't set yourself to offline if you're signed in, but when it is not open, you are shown as offline.
Thank you for that, Shane.
Can you show chat history to someone who is added to the conversation? You're on mute.
Sorry, thank you. From the chat, I selected a pinned chat here that I favorited. I went over to the top right-hand corner, and then from there I have 3 options. So if I wanted to, do Jonathan, include it. Let's do 3 days. If I wanted to add Jonathan and only include 3 days, it'll also create a timestamp and show everyone who was already in the chat that I've added someone.
John, if you don't mind, I just want to answer one of these questions out loud. Somebody asked any hints at what teams might have as new features in 6 to 12 months. If you click on the help question mark in the lower left-hand corner, one of the options is suggest a feature. And if you click on suggest a feature, it will actually take you to a list of all of the features that have been suggested and been voted on. And yep, now you can see we have the features that the most people have voted on, and all of the top ones will have, you can see a little message from somebody on the team's development team telling you whether or not that feature is actively being worked on, being talked about, or sometimes they say, hey, that's not a priority. We might work on it someday, like the ability to archive channels right here on the backlog. So that's a really good way to see what exactly people want and what they are working on it. Also, keep in mind that you guys are probably on the GCC version, which is going to be a few steps behind the commercial version. So if you pay attention to what releases the commercial version gets, then you will know that you're going to be able to get those features eventually. It'll just take a while longer because the GCC tenant is a few versions behind.
And with features, please let your dreams run. Like, at any features you think that's cool, you never know what'll get these thousands and thousands of votes. Whatever feature you think will be cool in Microsoft Teams, and what you think what'll make Microsoft Teams even better, by all means suggest those features, and please be as active as you can in these forums and vote on these features that have already been in the works, as you can see.
Can you link Zoom meetings to Microsoft Teams, or do you have to be completely out of Teams to launch? My understanding is you cannot link Zoom meetings and Teams meetings.
Not today, but the feature is on the roadmap to come available for you to be able to have that interop where you can join a Zoom meeting from a Teams meeting and a Teams meeting from a Zoom meeting.
Can you show the training features in the help button?
Sure thing. Help training. We have awesome little 2 to 3 minute videos and even little PDF guides to getting started with the basics to organizing and customizing your teams, to even little videos on uploading and finding files. All of these neat little tricks could help you become a team's master, as people like to call it. And even from this menu, you're even able to check out the patch notes that gets pushed out to Microsoft Teams. You're able to look at all of the features here.
Can you demonstrate how to change your status by clicking your profile on the top right corner?
Yeah. Status here will let me change it to busy, do not disturb, be right back, or if you're away. When you set these, however, you're manually setting them, so they will stay permanently like that until you switch it. Teams updates your status depending on what it is that you're doing. If you're a producer on Microsoft Teams, it'll set it automatically to do not disturb and block any notifications from bypassing. If you're a presenter during a live event, it'll only set it to busy, so you still will receive notifications if you had it set to that. But appearing away, for instance, like if you're away from your keyboard, appearing AFK, you will be set to a yellow status, appearing in the be right back status. But again, manually setting these will permanently set those until you change them back again. So I'll set it back. But another way you're able to set your status too is if you click on the command and you type in any of those statuses. So if I put in DND for do not disturb, as you can see, it will set it to that like that. If I hit Control E, it'll give me the prompt here, / away. It'll set it to away. If I then want to set it back to available, I would just have to type in available from there.
Can you demonstrate how hidden teams and hiding teams works?
With hidden messages, that replaces your delete option. You're not able to delete messages in Teams. You are able to hide messages. So when you right click anything, any message that you desire to hide, when you select it, it will hide it. But keep in mind, anytime somebody within that group chat or one-on-one message, if somebody in that chat sends a message or shares something, that chat will pop back into your list again. But if you want to find that hidden chat, like if you accidentally hide one, you just search the name of that conversation. So if you go to create a conversation and you type in those same amount of people, it will create that. It'll bring that chat back. Or somebody that you know in that chat, just send them a personal message telling them to mention you or mention someone, and that message will, or that chat will pop up again.
Can I create new documents in Teams or only upload existing documents?
You said upload.
Can I create new documents in Teams or only upload existing documents?
You can do either or. So if I go to, let me just hold this here. Oops, I'm on the wrong tenant. If I go to my OneDrive account, I could upload any new documents from here. I can add any from here or upload any new files. If I just click here, it's only going to be the listings of all of the documents that are a part of Teams here. It's only recent here. Let me go here. Yeah, this is only going to be existing. Yeah, it's only going to be for your OneDrive where you're able to create brand new documents from Teams. When it comes to creating like new ones within channels, that can only be done, I believe, within SharePoint. Like if you just want to create multiple documents at a time, rather than just creating, like, say, from your desktop and then uploading it, you could open within SharePoint, and then I'm in the general channel right now, so here I could then upload a new Word documents from here. This is how you could do it from this way instead. Okay, I wanted to make sure I wasn't on mute. Perfect.
Can you and Shane demonstrate how to co-author within a document?
Yeah, when you open any document, so I'll just go to the same one that I've had with Shane here, that I've shared with Shane. Go to that document, go to files. So when I open this document within, if I open it in Teams, if the other person that I shared this document with, when they open that same document, their icon is going to appear right here, where it says comments, editing. So boom, right there. So Shane has opened this document, and then from here, I could also go to wherever he is within the location, and then I could see where his cursor is. So that same one-on-one conversation that me and Shane have, when I click on conversation, it pulls up that same conversation. So we have great consistency here. We don't have, copies of other conversations and such. We only have the one that we've always had with just me and Shane. If I'm in a group chat and I share this document with other people, of course that conversation will change to that group chat. But from here, I could also look at any comments that were created from other users. I could also create new comments from here. And then I could also set if I only am reviewing the document. You can see. And for anyone who's curious if they're interested in changing their theme for Microsoft Teams, the two other themes are supported. The top right-hand corner, when I select my icon and go to settings, from the general tab here, right off the bat, I can select if I want it in dark mode. A lot of people prefer dark mode. It's easier on the eyes, especially when you're on teams at night. The white theme can be very sharp at night, if that makes sense. Or I could set it to high contrast. We'll go back to the default for the make it easier for this live event.
No other questions in queue, and unless there are any additional questions from the participants, please post them in the chat window. Okay, John, if you want to do your outro.
Sure thing. I would like to thank everyone for joining this or open office hours, as I would also like to call it. For next week, do stick around for any fundamentals or intermediate training sessions that we will be conducting in the future. Those are very helpful, and they we give a very good basic understanding of how to fully take advantage of everything that Teams has to offer. But I hope everyone enjoys their wonderful Friday and enjoy the rest of their weekend.